Murder. One more best of 3 and one more spot left at the top 16. It's the Major and we're live from London. This one is interesting. We've got North coming in from a big win of DreamHack Masters Stockholm, and they have had to go ahead, get the knife and fork out and eat humble pie because they are now on the line. One game defines the rest of their major run, and standing in between them is Vega Squadron. To make it rhyme. Okay, I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson, and do be sure to hit us up over on social media, hashtag FACEIT Major. Let us know what you're doing, who you're thinking is taking this one, and everything in between. And I have my friends here to help me do that live. We do have Jacob Pimpinaker, and we do have Damien Dapp Steele.
You say friends, Alex. I'm not sure that's correct, but
look,
we are here to help.
Friends while the camera's rolling, Jacob. Can't wait to avoid eye contact with you for the rest of this day.
Goes both ways.
People are actually going to think we hate each other, Jacob.
Movie night's cancelled
See,
tonight?
look, he's holding the joke just that little point further. There'll be a thread like "Pimp hate machine?" ?
I mean, it's not too friendly behind the scenes.
He's holding this. Maybe he does. Okay, we should probably move on. Anyway, let's talk about Vega Squadron, because this is a squad that have really every game they play, it feels like it goes all the way. They've gone into overtimes on multiple occasions in the best of ones. Now a best of 3 stands before them, and before we talk about it, they're going to talk.
I like to compete it with other players. I don't like to lose, so I want to win trophies. I want to show my best, and I want my team be the best in the world.
They talking about me 'cause they never been relevant. Haters will copy.
It's like planned tournament, and everything can happen. Like you can win or lose to every team. It depends how ready are you and how prepared.
The major is the world championship for me. It's
It sounds cool, like major, like biggest tournament, but actually, I don't know. I still don't feel like that much pressure.
TIS region is not weaker than other. We have also great players, but there is no chance to prove them.
For me, the biggest thing is to be like one of the best teams.
To show that you can be the best teams, that you are good, you are the champion of the world.
Vega Squadron, this CIS squad, have managed to cause uproar already here at the Challenger stage. They have taken almost every game all the way. In fact, I say that. Just one of their games finished in regulation. Every other has gone to OT, win or lose. These guys have got resilience and now are just one best of 3 away from completing the set. They say they don't feel pressure. I think that's going to start to change going up against North in an elimination game.
I did not expect them nor Spirit to come in here from the CIS region and to do as well as they've done. So to see Vega here be in a 2-2 scenario going up against a team like North, initially you'd think, all right, North, you got this one in the bank, but I think there's a great upset potential surrounding this Vega Squadron team. We saw them go OT against Liquid, who by many, and myself, are the biggest favorites for this entire major. So they've really showed that they can play Counter-Strike at a super high level.
But what's bugging me, Daps, is that we always had this tag of, oh yeah, they're just unpredictable. They do, you know, questionable plays or unpredictable plays. You know, is that is that almost discrediting their accomplishments, or is that just reality?
I don't think it's discrediting them. Like they do play a unique style, and they do a lot of random things.
Right.
But I think that's why they're having success here. I think if they tried to play sort of a slower style, it would be a lot harder because they are sort of a newer team.
Right.
So it takes time to sort of get to a level if you play more of a passive style.
It takes a lot of courage to know yourself well enough to know that they may not be good at playing slow style Counter-Strike. They may not be clever enough, smart enough, have the communication skills, so they should keep it simple and do what they're good at. And that's exactly what Vega Squadron is doing. They're making the absolute best out of the potential.
They've been absolutely nailing it, and in stark contrast to Vega Squadron, we have the North roster. It's an attempt at professionalism, climbing to be the very best in their region, but the best in the world, in a project that's had its ups and downs. Recently, though, hitting a peak. Not now, as they stand on the verge of elimination, but not too long ago. We're going to talk about North after they've spoken about their road to the major.
Majors like World Cup in football and handball and all that. So it's really big.
Yeah, last time we went out 0-3. It was a bit unfortunate, I think, but now we have a whole new team. We have a totally different play styles. So we just won the DreamHack Masters tournament, obviously. So we had some really good preparation coming into the majors. So hopefully this time we can do much better.
I think we evolved a lot as a team by now, and I just think if we just play with good energy and just hit our shots, we're gonna go really far, and it showed in Stockholm.
I'm proud and I was happy to have the moment and opportunity to play against the best team in the world, which happens to be my former team in a big grand final. It was a special moment playing them, and suddenly you forget all about winning the title. It's more about in the moment winning against the other Danish team.
I had the best tournament in my whole career, and I think everyone on the team really stepped up, and it feels like our team chemistry is at a level that I have never tried before. Right now everything feels very good.
Team chemistry that MSL has never experienced before. He's been in this game a while, and now he's picked up the AWP. This has been a real turning point in MSL's career, not only getting MVP of the tournament, courtesy of HRTV, he's also just put on such a show, lifted the trophy, but now they have to do it one more time. This is just to get to the legend stage. A lot of people would suggest it was an open and shut case. A lot of people expecting them to be in that 3-0, 3-1 category, but they've slipped to the point now, Jacob, where they are staring down the barrel of 2-2, conceding losses to Hellraisers and Spirit.
There's such a narrow line between success and failure for this team. They had a great success at DreamHack Stockholm, winning the entire tournament, and especially MSL in particular, as you said, getting the MVP and showing the world that he's capable of playing the AVP. That was great to see. Now this tournament, he hasn't been to the same level. Not going to blame anything on himself, because he's still been doing well. He's still been doing his part, but it feels like the team has just stepped down a level or two ever since the Stockholm Master victory. So I talked to them yesterday. I asked what's going on, and they say to themselves, we just haven't woken up. We're not playing our game. We're not playing as well as we do in practice. We didn't play as well as we did in Stockholm, and I couldn't really drag more out of them than we're just not playing our game, right? And it's tough to pinpoint what is they're missing, because they have the performers in Kirby. MSL is doing his job, but it's just not clicking right now.
Yeah, this roster is brought to you by DreamTeam.gg, and Daps, I'd love to know exactly what you're saying here. When I hear this, sometimes I find myself rolling my eyes. When players say, oh yeah, we're just not playing our game, or it wasn't our day, they just seem like vague, sweeping statements or excuses.
I mean, but sometimes it's true. Even if you look at my team at DreamHack Stockholm, we just got off a break, and individually we played very badly, but our communication was actually better than it normally was. So sometimes you just have that where people aren't performing, and I'd actually like to bring up AZ, because he's a person that gets brought up a lot for consistency, and he had a 1.17 rating over 12 maps at DreamHack Stockholm, and that was versus all Tier 1 teams pretty much.
Well, let's bring him up on the head-to-head. It's brought to you by the Predator, and you can keep telling us all about this man.
And this event, he's got a 0.97 rating, and that's against Virtus Pro, Hellraisers, Spirit, and Rogue. So clearly, there's something that is making him not play as well at this event. I don't know what that is, but the person on the left, Chopper, he's the one really leading Vega to success here. All of Vega's wins and losses have been very close, and Chopper is one of the main reasons that these guys are having the success they are.
And AC have been super inconsistent as of lately. When I played with him 2 years ago, I would say he was definitely one of the 10 best players in the entire world, which gets to show how big his potential is. It just hasn't clicked for him. We saw glimpses of it during DreamHack Stockholm. It was a consistent performance, but normally when you see Isaac playing well, it's not consistency that is his main factor. It's him taking over a game, winning it for the team, maybe having 1 or 2 bad games, then taking over another game. The problem with that is he's not doing that right now. He's just consistently being alright, and sometimes you have those glimpses of doing the old AC stuff, but he haven't been consistently delivering the same level he did 2 years ago in quite some time, and that's definitely what this North team is missing. Because when you look at the lineup, they don't have a clear star. Kirby is supposed to be the star, Ace is supposed to be the star, but none of them are really like stepping up to that occasion.
We're starting the veto now. I heard you Damien and Jacob talking about this, just theory crafting, and it seemed like it was quite clear cut, at least with the bans.
Yeah, Vega should get rid of Nuke. That's like Cash and Nuke should be gone from North and Vega. The Vega, though, their pick is a little interesting because I think they want to... Oh, okay,
so they're willing to play Nuke versus North.
Yeah, that's surprising. But what I was going to say was, Vega's pick is interesting because they do like Inferno a lot, but if you pick Inferno, you're picking into North's comfort, and same with Mirage. Vega likes Mirage a lot, but you're picking into North's strength again, so it's kind of interesting where Vega can go with this.
North have chosen to take it to Inferno.
It's super interesting to me because one thing is leaving Nuke open, but another thing is North not going for that peak. I think they may be a little bit scared of the loss to Spirit earlier in this tournament. That was against another CIS team, and I reckon North is thinking to themselves, okay, Vega Squadron, Spirit, they play the same type of Counter-Strike. It's a little bit unorthodox, so we don't want to go into another map we already once showed weaknesses on. So we're just going to play Inferno, which we know we're capable of. We know our structure on Inferno, and we're just going to play our game. So to me, that tells North are pretty much secure in their own and pretty much confident going into the matchups. As long as they keep it to themselves and play into their own strengths, they're going to be winning this game.
Also, I'm interested to see who's going to ban Dust 2, because both of these teams have banned Dust 2 in every match so far. So they're going to be playing chicken here with Dust 2, and I think whoever... Actually, I don't really think it matters what map it ends on, and Vega doesn't want to play Dust 2, clearly.
Just keeping it safe and sound. What leaves that leaves us with Train, and that leaves us with another potential map, which my brain is eluding.
So North might want to avoid Train just because, and I'm wrong. I thought Vega's win against Big was actually very good. So I think it's interesting that they don't go for Nuke. That's a map that Vega, I don't think, plays very much at all, and they've actually banned it this whole event, so...
Interesting stuff.
North could have went for the punish pick, and they didn't.
They had the opportunity to take it to Nuke, and that's either telling of the fear of a Vega Squadron curveball on Nuke, or perhaps just not confident in their own ability on that map. Especially as a third map decider, it can get pretty scary pretty fast.
It's one of those maps where it allows Vega to be this unorthodox team that is just doing scrimmage plays and doing fast plays, and if you can't stop it in the beginning of the game on the CT side, it quickly snowballs out of control, basically. So I think North is, again, you know, the whole mindset for them is going into maps where they have their structure in order, they know how to play the game, and as long as they keep to their own game plan in that regard, I know it bores you sometimes, but they should be safe and sound in this one.
Yeah, we'll find out with our predictions if anyone's going to be going against North. Of course, hot favourites coming into this, but is anyone expecting the full shake of the Danish roster? We'll start with you, Damien.
I'm going to go with Vega on it, and that's just because individuals on Vega are performing better, and I haven't seen anything from North that tells me they're going to win this, at least cleanly. Obviously, North has the chance to win this. It's a best of 3, but I think Vega's been looking good, and I'm going to pick them for once.
Damn, okay. Vega Squadron for the Legends stage, according to both James Bardolph and Mr. Daps. Jacob?
Yeah, I'm entitled to say Vega as well, but I think North just got that little edge. I think North is the better team. They have the more experience, and they have been through the same thing as Vega. A lot of overtimes, a lot of pressure. We saw it last time yesterday against Rogue, and when you look at the lineup, when you look at MSL, you look at AC, you look at Cabby, they should be players who's able to shut down this fast-paced Counter-Strike Vega is coming with. So I'm gonna stick to North, but I think it's gonna be a close one, and we could potentially see a third map.
Okay, I think I'm gonna run with the Northern thread. I'm gonna take the Danes for this one, and that's almost entirely because not only thinking of their successes recently and knowing what they are capable of, it's also the fact that I think that Rogue game really woke them up. I think that was a big slap in the face when they were one round away from being eliminated from the Major. I think that's a feeling that they're not going to be forgetting coming into this series, and I think there's going to be a real hunger from the Northern Lions. Vega, though, are going up against it. Shark versus Lion. Who wins? James and Dan.
Hello. I think North win, and he thinks Vega wins. I think it's kind of crazy that, for example, you know, Pimp, who's pretty savage and very honest on his analyst desk, James, he's like, I think North have an edge. And that's how you're describing a matchup between Vega Squadron and North. North just obviously winning Dream Masters in Stockholm. That's crazy. Is it not crazy?
I have to pick Vega because... Oh, wow, I'm really loud in my own ear. I have to pick Vega because of Sharks. That's it. I'm like, Sharks. The thing is, right, obviously, I think that you're supposed to fade the North here. However, for me, almost every Vega Squadron match, they seem to do better than people's expectations. So I'm essentially going for a gamble pick here, and they have a shark logo. How can I not? You know, it's partly because of all of Moses' shark gifts on Twitter. You know me, I'm a shark man, so it doesn't help all these shark animations. So I'm kind of blinded by the Sharky Poos, and I'm going to pick Vega, who will be starting on the T side of Inferno.
And who knows, Vega Squadron, maybe they'll be even stronger, powered up by this fight or flight situation. Now we're in to the eliminations, and Nico, looking to start things off well, takes down Chopper. Chopper will be chopped, and Valde Good presence there. Very forward position, and he'll get early information, but he'll dive for it. So a 4v3 now for North, and they have no idea the bomb is actually by T-Pit. Hello. Okay. Just walking into Neo. Nico? Nico, it's close.
No.
Missing the letter there.
It's an interesting first round, Dan. No ace for Nico. 1 versus 3, none versus 3. That is a solid start and finish for North in the pistol round. Very good round to win. MSL must be very happy he's in that best of 3 territory. High spirits are North in the beginning of this match. Now we need to choose the Go TV picks for those of them who are in Go TV. Dan, who do you fancy for the Go TV?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'd like to pick Kirby actually for this one. I think he delivered well yesterday. I think Valde as well into that overtime also did a lot of great things. To be honest, you can't really go wrong with North. MSL when he picks up the AWP will be interesting as well.
It's too many picks, Dan. Pick one.
Well, if you're an AWP, you can choose MSL.
Okay, pick two.
If you're a rifler, pick Kirby then.
Marvelous. For me, on North CT side, I'm going to pick Valde. That's my Go TV pick recommendation. I think he's going to have a very important position to play, quite literally, for the team. Let's see how he does. MSL, surely he sees that tip of the gun there. It's hard to tell with the outline of the X-ray. Beyond the gun itself can be confusing for us, but here we go. The trades are here for North. The gun, well, Hachi's in that short position actually. He's picked up an M4A4 as well. The crouch peek will be enough to ring the bell of MSL.
Ooh, hello. Now it's down to Kirby. And he's between 2 players. The bomb is also down once again. Kirby, my goodness. It's very shaky. No, caught by Hachi. Very confusing rounds with the bomb just down in very weird places. And to amend my Go TV pick, James, because I think we've been doing it all wrong, I choose Sliggy.
Ooh, yes, I like that. That is genius. Do you know what? That's actually a very good pick, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've caught me off guard. That is the that's a checkmate right there. Observer Sliggy, leave it in his hands. I think one of the best things about Sliggy is that he will show you the build up of a round. It's up to you to translate it, but you'll see the construction of a round from a T side, for example, and the activity of a CT side trying to look for information, take gambles, avoid risk, so on and so forth. Hello. MSL gets one back. He doesn't go wide to peek second players because he's buying time for his team to come around and get all of these frags. North comes straight back with another round.
Yeah, that's okay. So this is really interesting because basically what we saw there is Vega ran a very, very common anti-eco. And I think if you've been watching their demos or some of the demos of the CIS teams and so on, it's actually, they're still running it very commonly where you just go up through mid, you try to go through arch and just wrap onto the A side. It used to be very common and we're seeing it a lot recently. I think North were just saying, well, this is a good bet that they'll probably do that. Let's just make a setup. And they had so many players to trade effectively. And boom, they great read from North and they will benefit from it. But we'll have a force blow coming in from Vega to respond to that. And perhaps they will be able to turn the tables once again. Kirby, he's got an AK and he's going deep.
4 smokes around the map of Inferno at the moment. When you see, if you see Rob Slater playing CT apartments, he often has a smoke which sits on the balcony so you can see a T player's legs. But it's always respected by the T opponent, but not many people throw that smoke at the moment. I think one other person has in this stage of the major so far, but it's something to look out for.
R.I.P. Kirby. He's done significant damage though. Look at the health. There's more black in those health bars than there is gold. So we'll see whether North can finish them all off with ease. The AK, I believe, just collected by Crush. Crush always makes me think, that name always makes me think of Urian from Third Strike, for any of those Street Fighter 3 fans out there. So going beyond the smoke, this might be a bad move. Indeed, there's players waiting.
My God. Such a large gamble. They, even though they only had, well, I mean, this is... The question is how necessary was the gamble and what are the implications if the gamble goes wrong? And we'll just leave it there. Let you decide. 15 seconds, this bomb still has to go down, and Valde was exposed to 2 different places. North, I mean, these 2 rounds that they've lost have been very weird. I couldn't quite process what exactly happened in that first round they lost. Even at the very end, I was like, what exactly? I don't know what's going on right now. Why is this happening? And again, yes, they lost 1 player, and then after that, again, if you creep through that smoke and you die, you have significant problems. When you've already lost 1 rifle, and now you lose more than just that.
I mean, I understand why he did it. I mean, they're looking for information, and so, you know, because if he doesn't see anyone there, or maybe he gets 1v1, let's say, because maybe there's just like 1 player there or something like that, then okay, sure, you know, he gets the information, and they can run players back to stack towards one site where they think it's most likely now, because they were very much in the dark as to where the T's were going, and they're thinking, hey, you know, the T's have 5 players, they picked up the AK, they got 2 AKs now, you know, we really need that information to know where to stack our players. And so in making the information play, that's actually what sealed the fate, ironically, for North instead. So I think it was, you know, harmless in theory, but it ended up being quite harmful in practice.
Yeah, I'd need to look at it back and see what other utility they had and so on. I don't really remember all the bits and bobs, but here we are. Once again, we continue to trade rounds.
Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it? Very odd beginning to an Inferno game. That's a beautiful nade. Chopper might not agree, though. As buy doesn't actually look bad for North if you look at the fact that Vega's buy is... I mean, they got an M4 and a Mac-10 in there, so actually, you know, it's quite good. But AK, UMP, M4, CZ Deagle, that's not too shabby either for North if you place those guns well. And, you know, Vega, if they're able to take away top mids, it could be really problematic for North. They'll have to take risks all over again to figure out what's going on.
JR, you see him quickly look to the left in case somebody's close for a trade frag, and somebody is close, but they will let them go to the point of no return, maybe. And now with Vega Squadron moving away from top mid, I think North are close enough to hear the sound cues. MSL rotating towards the B bomb site. He's got no pop flash for the pool area, and here comes Vega. Crush in the middle of his site on his own. Now he's got a late entrance from the rest. Maybe that was a security play in case of a stack, but AZ's got a second 1 versus 1. Now Penny Black is starting to move through the apartments, and JR is keeping them contained here towards the B bomb site, but North realize what could be happening, and Nico and Valde are going back to the A site.
Yeah, this looks great for North so far. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. It's going to have to run pretty much the whole way, so they can't really hide what's going on. North will have plenty of players there. Nico getting quickly onto the bomb site. He's on. Oh, that's an important frag. Maybe there's enough space if a chopper to plant with that frag. JR gets one in middle. They didn't expect him to come from middle, and that's given them the space to work with. In fact, the advantage as well. JR, with 12 HP, picks up 1 more frag, and now North are in a lot of trouble. How has it come to this?
AZ has a kit that is very crucial. KRB is creeping through the apartments and so on. Is this just a containment play? Is there an opportunity to play? Will they continue now? AZ's got to press forward. He's the one with the kit. Let's not forget. The bomb is in the side. They don't know quite yet, just yet. But it's so far ticked that I think it's time to fall back. How on earth are you going to win the round at this point? Tony Black now last man standing, and all the North players will fall.
Oh no, James.
This is
another round they should have won.
This is it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's almost like people haven't quite woken up just yet.
Yeah, they had a 5v3 after the way that the round opened up. And for some reason, they're sort of overstacking towards the B-bomb site in the first place. Then you get the big rotation coming in, and they're very underprepared for Vega being sneaky.
Well, I think because they were so close top mid, I think they heard Vega running away. Vega didn't think they did a good enough job of denying information towards top mid, so you saw that rotation. But then Vega started moving into the site 1 by 1. I couldn't see what the guys on Banana were doing, but you had Crush. He was basically at second oranges, and as far as I could tell, unless somebody died and I didn't notice, like there was nobody else with him, he died, then there were at least 2 players near the sandbags on Banana. 1 other guy moves in on his own. Meanwhile, we have... there was a player in apartments, but he wasn't deep in apartments near balcony, so I don't know what was going on there for Vega. I think that it wasn't the most beautiful play, but they have managed to win that consecutive round and put North on USPs.
Yeah, credit to JR. And he played very well. Rounds coming from mids and harassing from the apps. And indeed, the force buy battle won by Vega. Now just cleaning things up with the Mag-10s. And Hutchie, look at him, he's found his way to CT spawn. So there's going to be some information for him. Oh, there's one more player to be had. There's some reinforcements, jumping Mag-10. And that is going to be that. Vega 4 and North 2. This is not the start that you want if you're North. It's one thing having a slow start. It's one thing having a start where it really shouldn't have been, by your own standards, it perhaps should have been a much better situation. So North, you know, the sort of silver lining there is that it's very, very early on, right at the beginning of this best of 3 series. So they don't have to worry too much about it. And, you know, North showed an enormous amount of resilience yesterday against Rogue. That game of Inferno, that overtime against Rogue was incredible. Such a fun game of Counter-Strike to watch. So we know that North, when they get warmed up, they're going to be quite scary, but how long will that take?
Waiting for things to normalize here on Inferno. It is a best of 3, though. And I think all we'll be happy about that. MSL, he's the only person looking top mid, and he's going to engage with JR in the meantime. Nico with 2. And Valde will take out Tony Black. That's a quick one. 1 versus 4 for Crush. And MSL will puncture him as well. Like a football on a motorway. That is a round in the bag for North. No one is dying, so they just need to replenish the odd grenade here and there. And Vega Squadron may have to have a rethink of that one, because they did not get off that balcony at all.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be any nades to stop the pit player from doing a lot of damage. Of course, that setup is even stronger if the pit player is actually playing sort of out of pit. But North seem to have the info to know how to position correctly. And we'll see a fast round this time up. Oh, this is very fast from JR. You would expect him to catch someone with that kind of speed, but North will be very wary, and they'll have 3 players there in case the worst were to happen. And somehow, no one goes down. In fact, not even really a shot exchange, just grenades.
Normally you see a smoke like this thrown by a CT side to the half wall, but I suppose JR threw it into the flames in case the CTs were going to push behind the barrel position, at which he would be exposed. And it's also, especially when you're a sniper, it's really hard to see through flames at pretty much all distances. Vega Squadron will claim the banana area. 2 players remain here for North. Kirby's in a faster rotation position, but seems he is heading towards Library for the time being. What? Okay, Chopper on the high ground of the sandbags. That looks really bad from MSL's POV. AZ sees numerous players and Kirby's quick towards B.
Yeah, that's a very brave peak from AZ, but that could be a huge difference maker, especially now that Kirby goes down. AZ needs to win another 1v1, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Taking down Chopper. AZ has been incredible on the B side of the map in this tournament so far for North, and he's really keeping them alive in this one. He's got no right to be alive. 2 of his teammates have died around him, but he's still there trying his best to anchor this bomb site. He's got 19 health, and his help is very far away. He has to do all of this by himself.
He's taking an off angle. Oh, they lined up for him, but he wasn't able to get a frag. Tony Black doing the job. That leaves Nico on a very long rotation of the AK. He's got full utility. So what does he choose to do? Does he know there's an AWP in place as he tries to use the smoke? Could jump through a flashbang. It might not blind him for long, so this is a big ask for Nico. And that is why Mr. JR, Monsieur JR, with a shot straight to the face. And that is North back in a problematic scenario. They haven't won a consecutive round yet. Instantly reset.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the way that Vega played these rounds, you know, they're creating this awkward scenario for North, because Vega, they're not like really working the map a huge amount. You know, they wanted to start off very aggressively, and they wanted to make something very simplistic work. And to do that is to create a situation where North doesn't have as many opportunities to create kills in the round, to get information in the rounds. No, Vega, they push towards Banana, they take Banana, they delay, and then they just execute into the bomb site and just try to win fights. So very few opportunities for North to correct if the battles don't go their way, which they did not. Kirby will be sent to an early grave in this round, and perhaps it was inevitable. Ill-equipped, of course, the CTs. Black having his way with Nico's knees.
Nice. Always a good place to stand on anti-eco. I like how slow Vega were towards the B bomb site as well, because when you saw the first player charge out for the CTs, he saw 2, maybe 3 players. So that's a lot of information for the CT. So they thin them out slowly, Vega Squadron. But especially for those of you at home where, as can often happen, everybody goes banana. It's a good place to stand outside apartments. You can see the feet of a player on the balcony, as well as anyone coming down the stairs. 6-3 in favor of Vega Squadron, and it's Vega with a tactical timeout. They know North are back on the bye, and some of the pushes towards A have been a problem. Top mid and balcony pushes, so perhaps there's some discussion about that. What have we seen from North so far, and how can we get around it?
Yeah, it's been a really weird game so far. I think, you know, Vega, it's cool because Vega, they, as I mentioned, they're playing really simple rounds, and you know, if you have a team that's very confident, it's really beneficial. This is something that, you know, the French teams, one of the reasons why the French teams were so scary is because their individual skill was insane, and they were effectively creating a style of play where you have to really be able to match them individually in some situations, and you know, you can't get as much out of your tactical play in these sort of fast round situations. But speaking of which, the HEs will go quite well here for North. I like the delayed HE there. You may think that a position is safe, then another late HE comes in, and you can see how much damage they've done. Chopper and Crush down to very low HP. Ooh, just trying to walk in there. This is surely not going to go too well for Huddy either. Indeed, Valde ready for that one. And they're left with 3 weakened players on Banana, James.
Yeah, that seems to be a hard sell towards the A side, which hasn't really changed much of what North are doing. Bomb thrown on the floor on Banana, but it will not be heard, I don't think, because no one is playing first oranges. Chopper, is he going back to sell something towards the A bomb site once again? Because he's on a very long rotation while this is going on, making his way towards apartment. So just keep an eye, you can see number 2 on the radar there. I think Vega are either waiting for somebody to peek them towards B, or perhaps catch someone on the rotation if Chopper can get something done. Now North maybe starting to ask questions towards that B bomb site. Where is Valde? Because Chopper's just walked past him. He's in a short position, actually. Here we go. So grenades into both sides. And they're still going towards the B bomb site, though, and the bomb has still not been spotted. Chopper has picked off a player, but the bomb's got to rotate past Valde. Valde has a superior angle. He's got this on lock. He'll hear these footsteps, and this will be easy. And there is the round, 15 seconds, and Vega trying to do a lot, but not really getting much of anything done in this round once again.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you pick a strategy where if it doesn't go well, when you try to execute it, you're not, like, the round's basically over. There's nothing good you can do after you've lost 2 players, a lot of utility, and you also lost a lot of health on the remaining players, and you have no map control. Like, at that point, it's like, well, it's, you know, it's not really going to go well, is it? So it's it will be interesting to see if North can play a smooth game from this point.
I'm wondering if Vega Squadron have seen something in a demo, some kind of, like if there's a certain timing where North maybe have 2 people on short and nobody in pit, or something where they're not paying too much attention to balcony, because first we had the balcony burst play, which didn't happen. Then you've got the balcony raw peak play with 2 players, not 1 but 2, which is hard to trade because of how tight a choke point it is. Yeah. And that didn't work out either, but so there seems to have been a fixation on that in the short term, and it really hasn't gone their way. It hasn't even been close.
Yeah, it's quite cool from a rotations perspective, because, you know, if you're putting that pressure on Banana, the expectation is that the CTs aren't just going to sit in deep positions on the A side, because they've got to get info. You know, if they can confirm that there's no one top mid, well, then they can say, oh, well, then it very likely is going to be a B play. So it's not, I don't think you expect for there to be 2 people just staring right in your face when you come out the balcony. So I think I can see, you know, from multiple angles, I think, you know, why that could be a smart thing to do. But unfortunately, sometimes in practice, what is smart in theory can end up being very dumb in that instance. the way that it looks at least. And for Vega, it definitely fell flat, unfortunately for them. And they didn't build up too much bank in some of these rounds.
Yes, I wonder. I feel like, I don't know. It's been an unusual start to Inferno, but I feel like Vega have had some squandered opportunities where they've given rounds to North of late. But sometimes if you try a tactic and something has changed since you thought you'd have a hole in the defenses and so on, it's just not going to work. But they will have a bye in their next round. 6-4 to Vega at the moment, so they will have a bye in the next round. So we'll have to see what else they have in the bag, and I'm sure there's a reasonable level of depth to that bag.
Indeed.
Of strategy and tactics.
I mean, I suppose, you know, it evens out, because I think, you know, North will feel similarly that they gave away some rounds in which they shouldn't have. And in reality, you know, they had that 5v3 with, I think it was 2 of the players were really weak on the Vega side as well, in which they lost. And that looks like very unusual. So, you know, if North had won that round, Vega would have been on a full save, and I think the game would look very different. But Vega, instead, you know, they won. They kept being in a position to keep you know, dictating the pace, and that seems where so far they have been strong. But it seems as though North have finally found a way to control them, and no, I just started looking at the screen there. I was just reading, it says technical pause, game. And I'm like, oh, what does it mean?
Yeah, well, there have been some things that the devs have been working on.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah,
stuff.
we'll see. I think it looks like a similar thing from what we've seen in the game. I do wonder if it's exclusive to Inferno, or if it's...
Some people have stated that it seems to happen more on Inferno.
Yeah.
It seems very sort of anecdotal, that, though. But yeah, they do the test where basically everyone runs into the middle, and to make sure everyone can hear each other, you know, they take it one turn at a time to basically run around everybody else to make sure that everyone can hear that player, and then they just keep doing that until it works, basically. And
Dan, I spent so much money on these souvenir skins this week. I think I spent over £300.
Why are you doing this to yourself, James? I thought you were past this life.
Well, at least I mean, the first issue, right, was buying loads of boxes. That's the problem. Well, they were £5. I remember the days of the cobblestone being like £30 each. That was when it was bad. £5 is like, all right, let me buy £100 of boxes and see what happens. Max 7s, of course. And
you're still disappointed at the end
Max
of it.
7, yeah, so I was like, let me just buy what I want. And it's like, I could wait until there are normal drops and so on, but they'll be so rare, I think. I was like, let me just buy it because I'm scared. You know, it's like a scarcity thing. Oh, there's not many available, I must buy it. It's like with the sneakers and things, so I just bought it, like whatever. So I bought the dual Berettas. I bought the Krieg, and I scratched all the stickers off, which made people sad. But they look at it as value. I look at it as enjoyment. So I don't care. I don't care what the value difference makes, because I'm never going to sell it regardless.
Yep.
And the racing, I forget the name of the car. Lancia, I think it's from the Lancia car.
I don't think about cars.
Me neither, but it's like the Martini branding. I was talking to some of the Italians about it, and it is beautiful, man. I think it's one of my favorite skins in the game, and I use the Krieg. There's nothing. It's funny if you use the AWP a lot, and you use the Krieg, and you scope in and just one-shot someone in the face. It's so satisfying. Yeah. It's more satisfying than running around with a scout and like flicking someone. For me, at least.
It went in the face.
Yeah. Like if I run up top mid on Mirage and just one-shot the guy who's in the window of the AWP, because I know they're going to be mad as well, and that makes me happy. I know they're going to be mad.
I don't think anything can replace the Eagle headshots and Scout headshots.
Lancia Delta?
And also AK one tap is also very satisfying.
So I got that skin. I bought the MP7 Fade as well. And yeah, those were expensive, man. But I need the AWP Acheron from Nuke. They're doing another test round right now, guys, just to update you. So I need the AWP Acheron. I don't know if there's factory new ones, but if there were minimal wear ones on the market, they're not on the market right now, I don't think. Oh yes, there are. 120. But with that one, it's kind of like randomly generated each one, and so you need the skulls in the right place, man. The skulls have got to be on point, as well as where. So I'm gonna start looking at these and trying to find one. Man, so much money. Dan, help me.
I can't help you.
Give me 5 quid.
I think you just need to empty your bank account. Just keep buying stuff. Then when there's no money left, the problem will stop.
There's one with a Dren sticker on. Don't often see him sniping. But I'll be honest, guys. I'm going to scrape the stickers off. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. I'm scraping the stickers, baby.
What would you, if you had...
At least on an AWP, I'll leave one. If there's a nice one on the scope, I'll leave that one there.
If you had a James Bardell sticker, but only one, where would it go? Would it even go in a gun?
Well, where else could it go?
Well, I mean, you could just not put it on anything. Just have it in your inventory.
No, I'd have to put it on something.
Where would it go?
Okay, if I had a sticker... I can't put stickers on
Golden
knives.
James Bardell sticker.
Do you have an... You put it on a deagle?
I don't know, actually, what I put on. It would either be... It'd either be a deagle or an AK, probably.
What was that railgun video you were watching?
Oh yeah.
MCS. You should tell people to look that up. It was really awesome.
I retweeted it. So.
And where can they find your Twitter account then?
So yeah. So basically, James talking about a video where someone, I don't know how they did it, but they just put like a Quake Champions like railgun on like in CS:GO, and it's this guy just bunny hopping around, just railing people. It's quite funny.
It's amazing.
It's if you go to @DDK Esports and check my timeline, you'll see the retweet. It's quite funny.
If you're a fan of North, there's actually an Asheron AWP with MSL's signature on the scope. Relevant. Might be worth it. It might be a worthy investment. It's like £130, I think, right now. If MSL becomes, the most popular man in the game.
Yes, well, you got a long way to go this major to sort of reassert themselves in that way. Because I mean, even though they just had that great highlight at DreamHack Stockholm, unfortunately for them, no one's going to care, James, because people are going to care about the people in the playoffs in the major, and whoever lifts the trophy in the major.
Damn.
So, and that's like the major is so it eclipses everything else, and also it depends on how the performance goes in the major. Obviously, if they are not able to be successful in this best of 3 against Vega, that's going to be a really huge question mark. They're going to have that. I mean, to be a top-level team, consistency has to be a part of the process. If you look at the consistency of teams like FaZe and Astralis, of course, you can see a team that just refuses to die unless it's they at least get to the semi-finals of everything. So North need to be one of those teams to, I think, really feel successful. One tournament doesn't make it, unfortunately, but it's a great start and it's a good show of things that are possible. And it's a great reference point for confidence to get there, to get to that consistency. And I think they can. I think they've got a great team, and it's been really cool watching them over time and how they've evolved. Danish CS is crazy, James. There's like 5 million people in Denmark, yet they've got like 3 incredibly good teams. They've got some of the best in-game leaders and like some of the best players. Yeah, they've got like a population of around 5 million people. What is that about?
Population of a few chaps. We'll try to figure it out while we go to a break, while people work on this sound thing. So stay tuned. We shall be back with the remainder of this game on Inferno. See you soon. You can't say it anymore.
We're back.
Yeah, we're live now.
Hello, we live.
About that.
Yeah,
we're live. Yeah.
Cool.
So
we're just talking about what we used to do before broadcasts, right as the countdown was starting before we went live.
I was trying to buy one more souvenir skin, but because I've bought so many things on the Steam market recently and deposited multiple times, I think that my bank had frozen my bank accounts and my PayPal got frozen. And so I tried to add another card, and then because it's a new card, Valve won't let me do. Well, they let me deposit, but it won't let me buy it.
This is good.
So now I can't buy it. And I have to verify, but I can't do the verification charges because my bank account's frozen. Anyway, 6-4, Vega Squadron have 5 MAC-10s. We've seen this round before. They like to go towards the B bomb site. Will they be successful? However, that is the question. North may be expecting this. 3 people ready for the ting. So takes out JR, leaving Crush with 19 HP. Perhaps this is somewhat telegraphed.
Nice. I like how AZ comes in to rescue Kirby, and Kirby's like, I'm out. It just leaves. And then poor AZ dies. Well, that was a fast one, and that's around that you can indeed expect from Vega Squadron. I think those shenanigans are like pretty known from Vega Squadron now. Like if you know that their money is going to be in that sort of a place, it's around you can expect. We've seen North already, I think, anticipating similar plays. We'll see though now that the AKs are back out for Vega. Whoa. Hold that fort. What the AWP's out for Emerson. He's going to get a kill, try to get a kill very early on here. Won't go his way. And that's a close call for Vega Squadron. They've only got 3 smokes and 2 Molotovs, James. They don't have much play with this round.
Slightly too deep. Otherwise, Vega may have been in trouble. The numbers game heading towards the B bomb site. They will hear these players jumping on. Gubby sees one and watches AZ for the traders there. They've got 1 smoke. Hutchie can smoke off. No smoke.
Interesting. Well, it's, I guess, on the floor somewhere.
Oh, maybe he was... I was looking at the wrong part of the radar.
Yeah,
never mind.
Well, either way, it won't be easy for North in the 3v3. They have a full utility and kits, which is great, but they can't really afford to buy properly if they lose all their guns this round. So there's definitely some problems here. And that's a beautiful shot there from Tony Black. Lines it up. Now Marcel in a horrible place, and this has gone very, very, very wrong here for North. Once again, we're seeing so many rounds where it kind of looks like North just get caught off guard one time in a round, and it's fatal. It's actually completely fatal. The fact that both the B players, Kirby and AZ, just get caught out in these open duels against 3 players. Credit to Vega Squadron knowing the right kind of approach, but I think Kirby went out there first. I think it was Kirby first, and he kind of gets caught off guard, and then AZ's like, well, I'm committed now. I have to try to trade. And he's good for the first one, but then there's 2 players with Vega with good spacing to trade onto him. So, and then the round is just simply won. North, they can't allow the rounds to go this way. They need to try to slow things down against Vega and just starve them out, perhaps.
Creeping up top mid are Vega Squadron. They won't find much. Nico and Valde towards that short position, the pit position. Now, at what point do North start to wonder? Because everything's quiet everywhere. They don't hear the presence of Vega Squadron. And as you can see, Kirby is assuming that this area is compromised until he sees otherwise. Soon he will know. Straight in the head. Won't spot the second player, however, JR. So maybe JR can get the jump on him. Moving to Speedway now as Kirby. In the meantime, Chopper and Crush lining up for grenades towards the B bomb site. It seems JR and Kirby will circle each other. Tony Black maybe offering something towards A. How interesting.
Wow. Okay, that's a problem for the B players. Oh my god, it's an AWP as well, James. This could not go wrong in any more grotesque of a way. Now MSL is alone. He's got to worry about the AWP as well. Misses the first shot. How can he do this? He's just stuck behind the pillar down to 5 HP. Absolutely crushed. Kirby will come in. It's a good first frag, but he's been spotted. He's down to 18 and doesn't anticipate.
Why has he got his knife out?
I don't know, James. Valde's there to trade him out, though. But there's 2 AWPs post-plant on B. That is perhaps the strongest way to handle this situation. Not don't even really have utility, and he smokes to stop this. Oh, well, there is one. There's a forward smoke as a counter. This is very messy here so far for North. Switching out to the M4 as they come closer. They might be able to do this. They're swarming the bomb site now, and going for the hold in the smoke. This is very messy. Knife comes out. The slices are in. That stops the defuse from happening. And that bomb is too far ticked. He's done it with the knife. What the hell is going on, James? We're not even in overtimes and it's already mad. I don't know what's happening.
What is going on? What is going on?
Oh, that's such a weird round. Like the way that Kirby and JR just sort of played ring around the rosy there.
Let's see. So I feel like there are at least 3 players alive. After Kirby frags the guy, and even here, I thought JR would. I mean, let's see what the money's like for the T side. He prioritized taking the weapon out of North's hands, which you can respect. But now he's got no AWP, but they are on eco, so perhaps it was all worth it. North with nothing to fight with. This game of Inferno continues to be bizarre.
This is the weirdest game, and we've seen the Tyloo Infernos. Okay, maybe those are weirder, but in a different way, James. all very weird. Well, they'll be moving into the stack, which is fine, as long as you use the correct utility. They only got one Molotov left, though, that said. See if they can hit the shots. So far, so good. Only one frag going the way of 80, but not enough damage to really hazard a chance at the round win, so Kirby will be annoying, but only so much he can do as he goes airborne. 9-5. I wonder what the desk makes of this. Can't imagine. It's maybe they can't make anything of this. It's very strange. The Vega is amazing. They've really come out on the right side of this, and it's down to 5 M4s, and not the best situation, utility or kits for North.
Right then, let's see if Vega Squadron have a round number 10 in them. Is 10 rounds enough? Obviously, well, I think we can expect North to have a stronger T rounds in general. Not in terms of score, but in terms of execution and so on. So will they be comfortable with 10 rounds? Not 10 rounds is the most they can ask for anyway at this point. MSR and Valdi now towards that arc position with Nico in the pit. He's smoked off. Tony Black's coming around the side. Tony Black will leave him face down on the floor. That is an open A bomb site. The rest of the team smoked off. JR having a look. May have spotted a player there, but he is exposed to Library. Probably saw the Library player as well. Where are the other two CTs?
5v4 here for Vega. It doesn't look too bad. Their setup is quite nice. Accounting for pretty much everything here. And all the CTs spilling through one choke point. It's very difficult to get past that. They try to smoke their way through it, try to create a tunnel of smokes, but it's just not worked even a little bit. Just Kirby left in the 1v5. It's looking like the 10-5 for Vega. And indeed, there it is. JR will secure it. And this has been a half of complete catastrophe for North. There's been multiple opportunities for them to have a much better half. And it just seems like everything's going wrong, James. Everything.
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen so much Inferno this week so far. But I'm not really sure what to make of that half. But apart from the score is 10-5 in favor of Vega Squadron. And let's not forget, North won the pistol round. Of course, they were reset instantly and then reset again after winning round. Very unusual start to Inferno.
Yep. If anything, though, we know that North, they have a comeback or two in them. And yesterday, of course, coming back from being down 14-8 against Rogue, bringing it back to overtime and eventually winning it. We had quite a few overtimes there, and just get that pistol under your belt, and all can be forgiven. Chopper gets drive-by shot there onto AZ. You've got to be careful as a CT. There's no real good answer, I think, as far as the CTs are concerned when it comes to opening up this pistol round. You want to take fights, but it can go very wrong very quickly. That's a great position from Chopper, though. Very forward. He's got to just make it out of there, and he will. Gets another frag as well. He's causing all kinds of problems.
Kirby and MSR moving up towards the B bomb site. JR falling back. He's got Tony Black in the back as well. Chopper bottom mid. Nico moving through to the apartments backwards. And Hutchie on A. Again, it's an unusual situation. And if MSR rotates, who knows? Nico's about to see Chopper though. This is getting super weird. Using the win out frag. Of course, he's running out of bullets and he can't survive. MSR now bottom mid, and Hutch is going to have a look from top as the rotation's coming in towards the B bomb site. All kinds of nonsense is going on. Down goes the bomb. Now Nico's got 15 HP. JR was moving down Banana, but he will start to slow as Tony Black moves top mid with Hutchie, and Hutchie will finish off the job. So Vega win the pistol round. Now, can they avoid getting reset, avoid walking through smokes on Banana, and hold out for a very strong position?
Yeah. No kidding. It could be, if everything goes according to plan against the Force Spy, a cheeky 13-5 scoreline to play from. And that means only 3 rounds required then to win the map, which will be pretty upsetting for North, putting them on the back foot immediately in this best of 3. I think the vast majority of people, I think you'd be crazy to. I mean, obviously we've seen some predictions go the way of Vega due to their performances, but still, it would just be so crazy for Vega to be able to best North in a best of 3, best of 1, sure, but Either way, we'll let the action do the talking here as we look to see if North can find a way to bust open the Vega defense on this force buy round of theirs. Vega do have players at the bottom of Banana for a fast flank, so that is dangerous. It's Tony Black as well. You know, he's good for it with that MP9.
North's turn for a balcony burst, but it's got more styling and profiling than Vega's attempt, even though they are worse equipped. Starting to move down. Chopper's got some cover. Sees the shadow position. Nice spread from him of the MP9. Looking to kill number 4, but Crush will take that one away. I think Tony Black is one of my favorite nicknames in Counter-Strike. Something with Goose Breeder. I think Goose Breeder is one of the most awesome nicknames in Counter-Strike, but Tony Black's a pretty good one as well.
I always thought World Edit was a good name.
Yes.
Well.
Always reminded me of Deus Ex. Who was it? Was it Daedalus in Deus Ex?
Daedalus, yeah.
I feel like you could have called Daedalus World Edit.
Daedalus is a mythological thing as well. I always forget.
Yeah, that's true.
From where it is from.
Guess it ruined everything else.
But we'll have a fast round here on Banana from both teams.
Is it from Bill and Ted's Adventure?
Because maybe that's your mythology. This is not mine. Tony Black pushing forwards. Oh, he's going to be loving it. They just walk straight into him. Take all the body shots. And he's going to have a lot of money, James. He's going to have a lot of money now. 16 and 8 for him. He's been playing well. Chopper's been playing well. It's been amazing watching Chopper, actually. And some of the moments that he's given us, you know, particularly against Big on Train, for example. There was that 3K he made coming back into one of the sites that allowed them to eventually win that match, which to me blew my mind, how the level that he displayed to achieve that. So Chopper's definitely one to keep an eye on, no doubts. They're 13-5, James. They need 3 rounds, and the North are out on the first map, out on their arses.
The AK's up for North. Will there be a flash over this smoke? They are a meticulous team, North, but they're happy to... They're confident that there's going to be no one else around the bottom of Banana. They continue to pursue with 3 players in tow. Valde and AZ concentrating on apartment for the moment. Oh, nice attempt. Wasn't as deep as North's. And now they're being forced away. Ooh, very interesting. I like the pre-fire from North. Multiple man pre-fire, because they know the CTs are coming back. Vega making it loud, and that's going to exhaust a fair amount of utility from North. They're going to have to get some more flashes up, perhaps, if they're brave enough to lurk here again. In the meantime, moving towards that short position with Arch Smoke.
I love that detail from Vega, the retake of top Banana. They don't actually place players there, but North have to be suspicious. Like, North are coming back to Banana now, and they have to check stuff, because there could be CTs playing sandbags, and they could be trying to play. They could be trying a setup. So it does slow North down. You can see they have to check everything again. They're walking 35 seconds. North are a team that can play pretty fast as well. Oh my goodness. Seems like there was a gap in the smoke. Tony Black now alone with the MP9. Spray comes in. Can't get too much. But it goes for another try. Lick of damage or 2 onto AZ, but that's about it. And Vega on the retake game, and it's perhaps a question of getting damage in at this point.
Yeah, they've kept their SMGs so they can buy regardless in the next rounds. So is this a question of containment? They don't really have the any real estate at all towards the Banana position, and they are moving away to hold on to this, which may give them an extra buy, in fact, if they just hold on to these weapons. So let's see what they choose to do. I mean, they can expect North, because they've got no control towards CT, to go down Banana, so I guess it is going to be an elimination attempt. Now, you see where AZ and Kiabia, the Ts don't need to go beyond this position. So plenty of people will just run down Banana and just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And you think about where the limit is. They limit their risk by not going beyond Banana. As you can see, they're all hiding in the corner, but MSL's keeping an eye on things just in case the CTs push up. So they really do dot the I's and cross the T's, North. But that's something to think about, is at what point can you stop running away from the bomb site and not overexpose yourself?
No one likes overexposure, especially not the police, James. So double ops come out for Vega Squadron. And this could be maybe the trick that they need to shut down North straight away. North going for banana control once again, but Vega not ones to give it up. They've got 3 players there ready to trade out. Nico very fast. Going to get traded. Yes, 2 players from the sandbags position. Not expected. MSL wants to follow it up with the Molotov, but he can't run through the CT incendiary. This aggressive setup in the apartments is causing quite the chaos here for both sides as Vega now look to stabilize. But it's going to be difficult. Crush alone with the AWP. With onslaughts of Danish players. And there's nothing he can do, it seems, up to JR and Tony Black.
Behind a smoke grenade. They've got 2 smokes of their own though, but one question is, do they want to invest in AWP? Well, that's going to change everything. MSL picked off. I was going to offer a suggestion that if they can't find an opening from where they are, maybe they will choose not to go for it. Now the bomb is ticking. Tony Black's the man with the defuse kit. It seems JR will stay close. Are they going to go all the way with this JR and co? If they save these 2 weapons, they could buy in the next round. If they don't, they might not. That could be it, really. JR's in the red now. He's gone. Tony Black's running onto the site. So that was really awkward for Vega. And the bomb is so ticked that I think at the point where they're starting to move in, they have such a small percentage of fragging both players and defusing the bomb. I don't know if they knew where both players were, so I don't know if there was indecision. But ignore me, they are able to buy, including the AWP, so I miscalculated. But it did look like a laborious retake attempt.
Maybe it's just a confidence thing sometimes. Maybe it's just like, you know what? It's like they just have that feeling in their gut, maybe, that they can win any situation that's even very, very marginal. Which could be, you know, it looks on the face of it not a great thing, but maybe in the long term it's great for Vega. We'll have to see how it turns out. And that initial mid-aggression will go about as well for MSLs. It's, or rather for JR as it did MSL, getting absolutely nothing. And top banana taken by North once again. And Vega have 4 players ready to come in for this defense. Not even a retake just yet. Chopper straight through the smoke, gets himself 1, darts back out of it into safety, and then back into the frying pan. And he will be doing all kinds of damage right now as nothing goes the way of North here. Only with 1 kill and just stopped at the front door. Oh, that is stunning from AZ, but can he get anything else? He's got 25 health. Plenty of time, but 25 health. AZ now threatening the plant, and he'll be shot in the back. Chopper will take him out, and Vega 2 rounds away from winning map 1.
Somewhat scary towards the end there. They could, yeah, that 2-man spraydown was avoidable. But this was a great re-peek from Chopper. But even before he does this, he sees more players coming up. But you see, he doesn't fight to the death. He knows he has advantages. He can fall back, he can reload, go for top flash again. But just before they line up, you're looking for a trade frag situation, maybe with the guy running through the smoke once his teammates engage, but there we are. Was scary for a moment, but Vega are in a pretty strong position. This, you could almost consider this match point for Vega Squadron. It's 14-7, but there will be no money for North if they lose this round and don't plant the bomb. So if I'm the guy on the Vega side, I'm saying like this is our match point now. If we take all their weapons away, we win this match.
Big moment, a pivotal moment indeed. I agree. So much potential here for Vega. Will they be fearless, or will that potential get to them? Will they obsess over it? Who knows? JR looking for a good peek here and keeping it passive, are Vega, so no, fearless brave play is really required. Ooh, hello, good tag onto Kirby. It's always nice to throw a shot into that wall. Nothing else presents itself, and for JR, he'll get a lot of damage. Not really threatening B, but Vega aren't overreacting.
That HE would be quite something this time. Kirby on 33 HP, waiting for a peek from the CT side. He knows that they're not coming his way, so maybe there'll be a faster re-peek than we expect. The bomb is still deep in Banana, and JR is walking, I think, towards A, down Speedway. North not in a position to hear him regardless. Chopper, Crush, and Hutji basically all deep towards short. This is going to be a very long rotation for Vega Squadron.
Good smoke there defensively from Tony Black, but Kirby too fast around Paul, finds the angle in time. JR, can he find something before his teammates come in? In fact, they are not moving a muscle. And, yep, indeed, let's hold on to what they have. Once they've won another round towards that B-bomb site. And do you wonder if Vega will begin to mix things up on Banana? Will they try to be more aggressive and go for a full, take like all the way deep? I'm liking those retake smokes that they've been throwing, but they've never pushed behind them, which I think is quite interesting. What do you make of it, James?
I don't know what I make of it, Dan.
Perhaps it's something. Well, eventually they'll just do it every so often. Always looks the same.
Yeah. It's always important to do. Another thing that lurkers will do as well if they're deploying grenades. You've got one guy outside a B bomb site. Do the same grenades, make it look the same. Then all of a sudden there are 4 people there, and everything goes bad. It's
quite stylistic of Vega too. You don't really. I'm trying to think of any teams I've seen playing Inferno that do it as commonly as Vega have been. I can't really think of anyone else. Definitely playing their own style of Counter-Strike to an extent.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Molotovs, $400 for a T side, $600 for a CT side. So these investments are very expensive for the CT. The bomb spotted. How long will they fight for here, Vega? They have the corner. Chopper and Tony Black falling back. Char's always a good one to watch as well. And now North, are they going for a fast play towards the A-bomb side? Chopper's rotated back towards Library and Archer's being smoked off. And it seems there is a fast focus from North on short, which is covered in flames at the moment.
Fama so close, but so far from the frag, but it's his teammate Hutchie to finish things off. Crush from above the UMP goes overlooked, and he will spring onto the opponents, and that's 15 rounds for Vega. Looks like it ain't no thing for Vega right now.
Standing in the smoke, using his teammates for distraction. He's up there somewhere. See him re-emerge from the ether. And that is match point for Vega Squadron. However, it's not the one we were talking about earlier, so North have a bye in this round because of the successful round that they had of late. MSL on the Galil once again, enabling his teammates with the 4 AKs. They've got the utility. What is their plan on this occasion? 3 people towards B for the CT side. It will be an exchange of presents to fight for presents on Banana.
Yeah, the Banana area has been quite important. Wow, that is not what you want to see if you are North right now. Chopper with the MP9, that's the perfect weapon for the job to finish off these softened up players, and that's the bomb at the feet of the CTs. This could not have gone worse here for North in this round.
MSL in no position to trade. No trade whatsoever. Valde's got to put in work in the meantime. AZ's coming in for support. There are some flashbangs around that smoke on Banana. There are fights all over the place. There's the lurk. That was the big gamble. The Molotovs have fought some of the CTs back, but Chopper is still here with that fast-firing MP9. Jumping accuracy as well, so who knows what kind of parkour we'll see here. Won't be necessary. MSL runs to his doom, and it's only AZ left to try and stop Vega from taking this one to Mirage.
And there it is. Crush will take down AZ, and Mirage, it will be a fast one for Vega Squadron, and considering how the first half went, perhaps that was highly indicative of it. They got a 10-5 in North. Everything seemed to go wrong. North had a lot of opportunities, James, but something seems wrong.
Yeah, it was a weird start to Inferno, but it is a best of 3, so there is still time for recovery for North. I think they are one of the teams who will most certainly favour a best of 3 situation. We can see the statistics there. Chopper with the heavy output, 2,500 plus damage in that game of Inferno, good for 24 kills and only 14 deaths. So Vega Squadron will be more than happy with that. Looks fairly comfortable, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely, and they're going to need that confidence moving into Mirage because, as you say, it's a best of 3. It's a perfect place for North to recover. We know how good they are in Mirage. They have to be the heavy favourites there, if not the heavy favourites of the series already, but we'll see if Vega Squadron can keep on surprising us.